All right, let's just dive right into this explainer. If you live or work in a bustling city, well, you already know it's allowed. But what if I told you that the noise you hear every single day isn't just some auditory annoyance? What if we actually reframe that daily grind of city noise as an active, invisible energy invasion? Today, we're unpacking some fascinating source material that completely shifts how we understand urban soundscapes. We are going to look at how the absolute cacophony outside your window is actually a clash of elemental frequencies directly impacting your nervous system. And even better, we're going to explore the frequency medicine you can use to actually cure it. So, I want you to ask yourself honestly, are you suffering from an invisible energy invasion right now? Think about your morning commute or, just walking down a really busy street. You feel that sudden spike of tension, right? That intense sensory overload. Your shoulders kind of creep up, your jaw clenches. And we usually just write this off, right? We say, oh, that's just city living. But the material we're exploring today completely validates exactly what you're feeling. You aren't just stressed out. Your biological field is actively trying to defend itself against aggressive auditory frequencies. It is literally an invasion of your personal space. And the wild part is, it's happening completely invisibly. Now, what's really interesting is how we can categorize this jarring urban jungle into two distinct elemental threats. According to the frequency medicine frameworks we're looking at, not all noise is created equal. First, think about the car horn. Its acoustic profile is this sudden, sharp, high-frequency blast. In energy terms, that acts like fire. It's incredibly agitating and it immediately startles the mind. Now, contrast that with train tracks. If you've ever stood near a subway, you know that exact sound of wheels just screeching against the rails. This represents the metal element. It has a hard, cold, tearing friction to it. It's a totally different type of auditory assault than the fire of a car horn, but man, it is just as invasive. Which brings us to Section 1, Metal and Fire, the element imbalance. You see, when you're walking down a city street, you aren't just hearing a horn or a train in isolation. You're basically caught in a crossfire. This specific clash between metal and fire severely disrupts your internal biological balance. The crucial point here is that this isn't just an annoyance you can just brush off. It actually triggers a severe physical chain reaction within your body. When that sudden fire energy of a horn hits you, boom, it immediately targets your heart. It sparks this involuntary fight-or-flight response, leading to palpitations and a huge spike in anxiety. Then add the metal energy from the tearing friction of the city infrastructure. Metal energy energetically targets your respiratory system. It literally causes your lungs to tighten up and your breathing to get really shallow and short. But honestly, here is the most fascinating part. Under this dual attack of fire and metal, a third element, your wood energy, which represents the liver system and emotional regulation, gets completely suppressed. And what does that mean for you? It means unexplained anger. It's that modern generalized irritability that just seems to come out of absolutely nowhere. It's essentially your biological system buckling under the sheer sensory weight of the city. And the diagnostic data brilliantly illustrates this reality. When our energy fields are measured in these environments, the levels are just staggering. We're looking at the metal element hitting a dangerously high level of 92 and the fire element reaching 88. To put that into perspective, this means your nervous system has completely lost its flexibility. You are stuck in a highly defensive, tightly wound state, which makes it incredibly difficult to focus or just find a moment of peace. This isn't just some nice metaphor we're using. This is a measurable, literal energy crisis happening right inside your body as a direct result of environmental noise pollution. So let's move on to Section 2, the healing power of frequency medicine. Because look, we aren't powerless here. We absolutely do not have to just passively endure this energy invasion. We can actively fight back using the precise science of sound. To understand how we actually fix this, we have to look at the core mechanism of frequency medicine in physics, which is destructive interference. Okay, so in wave physics, if you have a really harsh, aggressive wave coming right at you, you can introduce a secondary, specific sound wave frequency that is perfectly out of phase with that first one. When they meet, they neutralize. They literally cancel each other out. So frequency medicine isn't just about, covering your ears or slapping on some noise-canceling headphones. It's about introducing specific therapeutic frequencies that actively dismantle the aggressive, tearing waves of the city before they even get the chance to hijack your nervous system. So, what exactly do these therapeutic frequencies look like? Well, just as the noise has elemental properties, so does the cure. First, we use earth frequencies. These are low, stable, grounding. They act as the perfect energetic countermeasure to kind of cool down and absorb that sudden, volatile fire of the car horns. Then we introduce water frequencies. These are warm, resonant, and flowing.
and they are specifically used to soften and smooth out the rigid, cold metal friction of the urban grid. By applying these specific auditory frequencies, we neutralize that metal and fire noise. The ultimate goal here? It's deep cellular resonance. It actually helps completely restore your neurotransmitter balance, bringing your biology right back to a baseline state of calm.
And that brings us to Section 3, Practice, your soothing prescription. Now, understanding the theory is great, but applying it is where the real transformation happens. Let's just drop the tension for a second here. I'm going to walk you through a sensory-guided meditation derived straight from our source material. The goal is to create a deeply resonant, calm state, absolutely no matter how loud the world is outside. You can do this anywhere, literally on a busy sidewalk or an underground train. First, just close your eyes and take a deep breath. Just ground yourself. Next, I want you to focus entirely on that breath and begin to feel the airflow as a stream of warm, flowing water. Remember, we are introducing that water energy to soften the metal of the city. Then comes the real frequency medicine visualization. I want you to actively imagine those sharp noises, the horns, the brakes, the construction, just being completely enveloped and washed away by soft, flowing blue waves. You are actively filtering the noise. Finally, let those gentle, calming waves totally sync up with the rhythm of your own heartbeat. You're using the concept of resonance to completely wash away the sensory damage. I want to leave you with this incredibly profound quote from our analysis today. It says, "In the chaotic city, carve out a tranquil haven for yourself and reclaim your long-lost cooling calm and stability." I think that just brilliantly illustrates that while the external world might be this chaotic jungle of metal and fire, you actually hold the power to dictate your internal environment. You can build a cooling sanctuary right inside your own mind and body. So my final question to you is this. Now that you know the hidden physics and the real elemental impact of the sounds around you, how will you reshape your own daily soundscape from here on out?